Estongo and Jokayadega. For one person now. One person. Estongo and Jokayadega. But if you want to go to two or more, Estongo and Jokayadega ga. Estongo and Jokayadega. That's more than one person. That's like to a group, okay? So here we go now. This is something, we don't have good morning. Remember that. We do not have good morning, but today we're going to go back over sounds and then I'm going to show you about tones. Because a tone can change the meaning of a word. Did you know that? Tone. Tone. And our language has tones. It has tones. And if you listen to me when I speak, you can make something passionate. Just changing the tone can change the meaning of a word, okay? You can make one word mean like quit, Vegas. That's calm. But if you really, like with my grandson, I have to say, Vegas. Or if I can say, Matt, Vegas, Mvhayv. I'm saying quit. I'm meaning it then. So this has tones, and you have to be able, you know, once you learn these sounds, your tones will come with it. And that's what you want because, you know, people say, you know, if you look at any other language, they have tones and accents. And our accents is not real prominent, but tones are. So we're going to go through that, but remember, is, don, gon, juk, ha, ya, de, ga. That's breaking it down into sounds, one person. We don't have good morning, so we have to say, did you make it through the night okay? Is, don, gon, juk, ha, ya, de, ga, ga. That's for a group. So if I walk in, I say, is, don, gon, juk, ha, ya, de, ga, ga. See that, hear that tone? Gaga. It makes that question back there. Estongo and Jokayade Gaga. Okay. Here we go. Now this is going to go to 2 and 3 letter sounds. And you're going to see these, every one in this sounds makes a word. And I'm not even going to say word because remember I told you these, what we speak in sounds. We don't speak like Europeans, we speak in sounds. So as in afki. Hear that? Afki. Afki is like a soup or hominy. We used to call it gravy afki. Ayo. Ayo is a hawk. Chi. Chisi, hear that chi. And remember now, the sounds are real prominent in the mouth. Pay attention to where your tongue is, how your mouth's moving. Pay attention to it. Chisi. And remember, when you have 2 of these consonants together, you gotta, there's no silent sounds, but when you got 2 of these together, you gotta pronounce both. Chisi. Just see, Chakibin. Okay, right here, you're wondering, why is this not silent? You don't hear the he in there. Okay, because if you feel it, this is where this feeling comes in. Chak, it's that barely on the base of your throat, right here. Chakibin. Chak. You hear that breath. And remember, if you got questions, ask. There's no stupid questions. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. I, that's a short E. I, iga, iga. Hear that? I, iga is head. Idle, idle. Idle is wood or tree. Either way, that's where situation environment comes in. You can say idle, but if there's wood down there that's been split or already cut, that means it's going to be wood. But idle, when you're talking about a tree, that's where situation environment comes in. Ipuji, ipuji is a sun. That's long. Hear it? It, and then there's a long E. E. Idalwa. Idalwa is a tribal town or ground. Anytime you have the D, li is dull. But anytime you have the and li here, it's al. Okay? Idalwa. Igana is ground or the earth. Ibagen is 6. Ibagen. Hear that right here. Hear that ibagen. Ibagen. Fee as in figi. That's a heart. Fatja. Okay. There's no silent sounds, but look at fatja. If you say fat, your tongue is on top of your palate behind your front teeth. Fatja. That's right or truth. Fushwa. Fushwa is a bird. He, as in hishte. Hello. Hutki. Hutki is white. Humgin is one. A. See, I almost went European here. A. Hey. It's got an A sound. Hey is hot. Legida. Legida is to set. And that, by the way, that's an infinitive verb. Bakida. Bakida is to hoop. Gi, as in gi. Gi is mulberry. Gudgel is blackberry. Gubby is soap. Lee, litki is run. Loja is turtle. Lumhi is eagle. Me, as in mahi. Now this is all gonna make sense to you because you don't hear me in this mahi, but you will hear soon. Mahi is tall. Mado. Mado is thank you. Me just is do it. Ni, as in najomi, how many? Noggin, what? Nodi, tooth, teeth. Oh, remember now, this is not just plain O. It's O. Oba is a noun. Oshki is rain. Owa is water. B, as in busko. Hear that? Bus. You can hear that thee, and everybody kind of gets mixed up on this thee here. Busko. You hear that right there. And that's grapes. Boski is father. Pomi is us. Si, as in taco, horse. Si, a bullet. Sato is a fish. Si, as in sa shakwa, that's a goose. Sada, we call it and they call it apple or anything you want to call it. Sada sapo is an apple, but some will say shada. But we look at it as a persimmon in my area. Soda is a sky. D, as in diniki. Diniki is thunder. Doktolosi. Doktolosi. Hear that? O, doktolosi is a chicken. Dochinen is 3. U, as in chula. Chula is a fox. Godi is a frog. Bojazi is the owner. And now remember, this is a sharp, blunt sound. Jussi, budgie, aji. We, as in washko, is a chigger. And by the way, this is pumpkin. Jussi is pumpkin. Budgie is a pigeon. Aji is corn. We, as in washko, that's a chigger. Waga. Waga, that's a cow. Weesho is sassafras. Ye, as in yaha. Yaha is a wolf. Yafki is evening. Yanasha is a buffalo. Okay, here we go. Now this is where you're going to get that. Okay, like jissi, or we say you didn't hear some of these sounds, but when you put 2 of these sounds together, in which you do, like this, ja. This and every Mvskoke word that that I speak is in these sounds. Sounds are something that I stress. So you new people that are participating. This right here. This. 2 and 3 letter sounds, they're in a word. They are in your speaking. So I stress these, learn them. Like, and enunciation is the hardest thing to do sometimes because we're loose to English. But, we can change that. Our people went from Mvskoke to English. Might have been hard, but it was done. So I know we're just going to do the opposite. Okay? We're going to do the opposite. If you're in here long enough, you'll be able to get this. Ja, chi, j, jo, ju, ja. Look here. I've already found a word here. Ja, si, ja, si. That's a pumpkin. By putting those 2 letter sounds makes ja, si. Jo, la, fox. When you put these 2 sounds together and see how it sounds, it's just ja, si, jo, la. One is pumpkin, the first one's pumpkin, the next one is fox. See, out of this, you made that. Go, de, go, de, go, de. That's a frog. This is where you learn tha, tho, fish. Tha, tho. There are a lot more. Bo, si, cat. This, see, I've already found so many words in there. That's why I stress this, okay? So we're going to go back over these sounds. Ja, chi, j, jo, ju, ja. Fa, fi, fe, fo, fu, fa. Ga, gi, ge, go, gu, ga. Ha, he, hey, ho, hu, ha. La, li, le, lo, lu, la. Now remember when I get here, I don't say lo, I say lo, okay? Ma, me, me, mo, mu, ma. Na, ni, ne, no, nu, na. Ba, bi, be, bo, bu, ba. Sa, si, se, so, su, sa. Sa, si, se, so, su, sa. Da, di, de, do, do, da. Look here. Suda, suda. That's a sky. Okay, that's a sky. Sada is an apple or a persimmon. Wa, we, we, wo, woo, wa. Ya, ye, ye, yo, you, ya. Okay. Off, if, off, oof, uff. Okay, if you take e, fi, and a single letter ah, if, that's a dog. Ak, ik, ek, ok, ook, uk. Al, il, el, ol, ul, al. Im, am, on, in, an, on, un. Ab, eb, ab, ob, ub, up. As, is, es, os, us, us. At, it, et, ot, ut, at. And okay, that sounds strange, especially that ot, but it's in our language. That sound is in our language somewhere. Okay, when you put 3 letter sounds together, like si, a, ki, and I'm going to encourage for you to be si, a, ki, not S-A-K. Because when you say S-A-K, that is English. But when you say si, a, ki, that's Mvskoke. So when you do si, a, ki, that's sock, seek, sake, sook, sook, suck. And that's all you're doing here, guys. It's just adding C-E-K. And when you sound it out, you got seek, seek, sake, sook, sook, suck, lock, leak, typo, lake, look, look, luck, moss, meese, mace, moss, moose, must. Okay. Must.
When you upload it, will they tell you that
Oh,
you
It should.
okay, look here how it's done.
attached all
Must
my files?
Mvskoke. Looks into my tone. Mvskoke. Mvskoke. See, just getting these sounds. You already got the tone. Somebody needs to turn their mic off, please. Mvskoke. Mott, meat, mate, mut, moot, mutt.
Didn't?
Ha,
I did it.
egg, egg, hook, hook, huck. Haas, he's, haze, hos, who's, hus. Mock, meek, make, mook, mook, muck. Mon, min, main, mon, mun, mun. Hal, heel, hail, hol, hul, hull. Knock, neek, nake, nook, nook, nuck. Fast, feast, face, force, foos, fuss. Jaws, cheese, jays, jaws, juice, just. Okay, look here. Juice, da, ki. Juice, da, ki. That's eggs. You just pronounce egg. Juice, da, ki. It was in these sounds. Juice, da, ki. Jaws, spa, speed, spay, spore, spoo, spa. Sla, slee, slay, slow, slew, slop. Yeek, yeast, yit, yitch, yan, yak. Jim, fin, gut, ma, gun, hun. Bun, loaf, vat, gat, thief, ska. Hull, hut, hum. Jit, loaf, all. Hear that? All, remember? All. Walk, sock, knit, bill, chalk, walk. Get, but, yin, ska, un, sa. Okay, here we go. Sa. If you say that word, sa, you'll feel that breath right there at the base of your throat. Sa. Fork, left, up, dot, shift, suck. Okay, I know this is hard to do sometimes and your mouth is not there, but your mouth will get used to it. And this is vocal. Language is vocal, okay? But you have, when say, I had some students says, I can't find it in the dictionary. It's because they didn't know their sounds. And it's hard to look up something in the Mvskoke dictionary when you really don't know, what your what the sounds are. This helps in all kinds of ways. It's reading, writing, pronouncing. This has everything to do with language, guys. Like, let me see if I can find some more words. She, me. She, me means you. Budgie, budgie. That's pigeon. And I'm amazed at this. How many words we can just find. Yeah. Ha. Yeah. Ha. That's a wolf. Yeah. Ha. And sometimes this language, it's not like anybody else's language. It's our own distinct language. And once you learn this, it's going to be your own. And it belongs to you anyway, right now. I got Jason sitting right here, and it's his language. It belongs to him. So he's taking advantage of it, and he's going to claim it. He's going to own it. Yeah. There you go. And thing about with language, anything else, and that's what I tell my grandkids, because my grandkids will say, that's mine, and they'll claim it. They'll say, that's mine. Pencils, that's mine. And I said, okay, what else is yours? And they'll say, Istilibega, my shoes. What else? And I said, what about Bonaga? Bonaga. Oh, yeah. That's the last thing they think about is language. I said, Bonaga is language. And they'll say, oh, yeah. But they'll claim everything else that belongs to them, even a can of pop. Mine, that's my pop. Start claiming this. Leave material and start claiming this language. You got to own it first. Okay? Claim it. And once it's yours, and they're like, oh, because I always tell them, this is your language. If that was a pencil, you'd say, that's mine. But I said, no one ever claims language. Like they did, that's my shoes, my pencil, my pop. Language was the last thing on their mind. So you got to claim it, okay? Claim it. And do some self-study on this. Okay. Remember I told you the other day, now see, we had some snow, Hidodi. We had Hidodi. And I want to tell you, we had it, a lot of it. Soldi. And we couldn't make it in yesterday, so I didn't have, I didn't get to go anywhere else. And today, mojanita, mojanita, moja, hear that? Moja. I bet you can't find that in those sounds. Moja. Okay. Creek has tones. Nagi, sing. Nagidi, hear that tone? Nagidi, what is that? Nagin, nagi is what? Hear that tone, okay? Consonants, here we go. Consonants can be double, then are held longer. Ido. Ido is a tree. But when you see right here, it's just one ido. But look here, jito. And that first D is, your tongue is on top of your palate. Jito. Can y'all say that and feel it? Jito. That's how come you need to pay attention. Pay attention to where your mouth is, where your tongue is, okay? Haji. Haji is a tail. Okay, this is one letter here. Haji is a tail. But when you get to stream, you got to say Haji. And you don't hear this first G because there goes your tongue again. Haji. Haji. Your tongue is on top of your palate behind your front teeth. Haji. Okay, this is where your enunciation comes into. Because I've heard people say jido for this. Jido. We have no such word as jido because the enunciation was wrong. They didn't do the two consonants right. They just said jido. We have no such word as jido. It's, listen now, listen to the difference. Jido and jitdo. Jitdo. Okay? Jitdo. And this is where sounds come in, guys. And just doing, listening, saying, knowing where your tongue is, knowing how to pronounce these things. And you know, I've had a lot of kids come in my room and they'll say jido. Jido. And you know, when they first said that to me, I had a hard time, like, what is he trying to say to me? What are they trying to say? And I said, I told this one student, I said, point at the word. And they pointed at snake. And I said, okay, we're going to start all over here. We're going back to sounds. And that basically, that's what we're doing here. Going back to sounds. Because you can never get enough sounds. Jitdo. Jitdo. Now that's snake in our language. But jido, that's not our language. Jido is not ours. It's jitdo. And if you say it, you can hear that first T with your tongue on top of your palate. That's why I say, remember that, okay? Okay, here we go. This is where it comes into play. Try to hear whether it's saying the A word, the B word, or the C word. Okay, luck, sa. Sa is a hoof. A horse's hoof, deer hoof, whatever. Okay, it's a hoof. It can mean any kind of, long as it's got a hoof. Like ijo laksa, thako laksa. But okay, look here. That's a liar. Laksa. Laksa. You draw it out. Hear that tone? That means a liar. See? See the difference there? But they're spelled the same. It's the tone. Lock. You know, when I look at this, I'm saying this should be a. How many agrees with me? I got one in here that should be a. Li aki laksa. I say that should be a B. See, somebody made a mistake here, and that's okay because we're not masters. But somebody, this should be li aki si a hoof laksa, and this would be laksa because your is short and blunt, and this you draw it out. So y'all guys, if y'all can change this to would be a B. That's right, isn't it? That's what I hear anyway. And sometimes my hearing's off, guys. I'm not always, on the ball here. Okay. A vine. This is something that you really have to watch your pronunciation on right here. Faga. Faga is a vine. Faga is hunting. Faga. Hear that sound? Faga is a vine, but they kind of sound the same. Faga is hunting. Okay, here's another one. Haji. Haji is a tail. But here we go. Haji. And you got to pronounce both of those consonants there. But that first consonant is not audible. Haji, but you can feel it. There goes your tongue again. Haji is a river. Haji. Haji is drunk or dizzy. It can mean either one. Here we go. Here's another one. Spelled the same, but different tones and different ili That's a short E. Ili. Ili is his or her foot. Ili. But then when you get to dead, it's ili. Ili. They're spelled the same, but the tone changes the meaning. Ili and ili. So if we say our dog is dead, we say ifa ili. We can't say ifa ili because we'll be saying dog leg.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, so when you're reading this, and you see these words that are spelled the same but have different meaning, I mean, is there like an asterisk or something above?
Yes, if you go to your, if you have a dictionary, it'll tell you, okay? It
Okay.
has marks there, how to pronounce it, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, what about you, Jason? You had a question?
Nagadi, Eva Dadi,
Eva Dadi.
Nagidawa.
Dadi means like, used to be. Like, we're talking about a person, like we'll say, Chabushi Dadi used to be my grandma. It's usually somebody that's passed on. Dadi. Yeah, Dadi. Okay, Nagi. Hear that? Nagi is a thing. Nagi. Hear that, Tom? Nagi is what? And I say this a lot because my grandson, he's always around me. And I'll say, Nagin. I'll put the N to it because I'm saying, what do you want? Nagin. And he'll say, peanut butter. Peanut butter and jelly. You know, that's every day. So he's learned that. And I'll say, Nagin. See, hear that? And then Nagi. Nagidua. That's what is it? Nagidua. Okay, he's looking at it. He just, hear that short E? He just, and then he sees it. He just. And this is where tones come in. But it has to do with sounds, guys. Learning sounds. And you know, there's been, I know in my classes, I teach college too. So in my classes, we go over sounds. I won't let them forget sounds because, and you know, and then they catch on. Because they say, we kind of did sounds, but we kind of did. And I said, so in here, I said, you're going to start off with sounds. Every class. And it may get redundant. It may get downright boring. But I said, you're going to find out that you need these sounds. Okay? Because language is sounds. Our language is sounds. Okay, look here. Here we go with this. I even still get confused on and ah. You know, and we'll be in the office and I'll say, do you hear? What do you hear? I'll be asking my coworkers, what do you hear? You know, and they'll tell me, and then I'll, you know, we try to, and then they'll come in there to me. What do you hear? You know, because some days our hearing's right on, and some days it's not. It just depends. Okay. This is a grasshopper. And this is, see, it says short, or ah. Listen now, or ah. Duffel. Here's that double consonant, but just going, you're making a, on your mouth, your front teeth are on your lips. Duffel. Duffel. I hear a duffel. D-A-F-F-O. And see how I'm spelling? Now, you'll never forget English. So if you can pronounce, you know, when you look at these letters, spell it in the Mvskoke sounds. Because remember, duffel, I have no clue what it is in English, but I know what it is in Mvskoke. It's a grasshopper. Okay? Duffel is a grasshopper to me. And it's it's short. Okay, look at here. This is what I call crinklish, guys. We didn't have no coffee until European contact, probably. And way after European contact, I'm gonna say, you know. So we say, we didn't have coffee, so we didn't have a Muskogee word for it, so we called it coffee. 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 See, hear that difference? It's made into, I call it crinklish. Because you know, we couldn't say coffee. We weren't English speakers. We were all Muskogee speakers, you know, and you know, I would love to go back to our homelands and just been back there back then. I probably would have been dead because you know I'm pretty outspoken, and you know somebody treated my mother or my father or my child the way they were treated, I'd done been dead anyway. I never would have made it to Oklahoma, but you know I would have loved to listen to their language, love to hear them. Would have liked to have been there. Coffee. Coffee. So, you know, I had a grandbaby that said that. She'd say coffee. And my grandson still says that, coffee. Turtle. Is that a long ah or a? Coffee. I hear a ah, coffee. Okay, turtle. Loja. Loja. And sometimes, you know, this is where dialect comes in. Sometimes you'll see it spelled L-O, Li-O, Loja. It just depends on how people pronounce it and what they hear. Loja, Loja. That's a turtle. I hear a. I hear a. Right here is my grandfather. Jaboja, Jaboja. So what do you hear? I hear a ah, long, ah, Jaboja, my grandfather. And my grandkids, all they call their grandpa is Boja. That's all they know. They don't know grandpa. They know Boja. And sometimes I'll say, and you know, I'll call him by his name, and they'll say, no, Boja. And then they start asking, what's his name? I say Boja. But once in a while, I'll call him by his name, and they'll say, who's that? And then, you know, now they're starting to question, what's his name? Because all they know is Boja. I hear a long ah. I hear this one right here. Ah, right here. Gaba. Hear that tone, guys? Gaba. Gaba. That's a code. But I hear a long sound. Ah. Gaba. See how this is going to help you learn knowing these sounds? Waga. Waga. That's a cow. Okay, here we go. I hear a ah with that. Waga. And with this too. Gaba. I hear long ah. Adami. Adami. I hear a ah and a I hear a ah here and a here. Adami. Adami. That's Creeklish. We didn't have cars back then. So instead of saying automobile, we said Adami. Adami, which is short, I guess, Creeklish for auto. But see, we couldn't talk English. And that's what, you know, when I think back to my family, did I had to hear them speak English once in a while. I had to. But when I heard it, I never really paid attention to how much they were speaking English. Because I was raised with the Muskogee language. So I never paid attention to how much they were speaking English. It was different. Ayo. Ayo. That's a ah. I hear a long ah. Ayo. That's a hawk. Yanasa. Yanasa. Yanasa is a buffalo. Yanasa. See, there goes those sounds again right there. Those are those two-letter sounds. Yanasa is a buffalo. Sada. Sada. I hear a. Bagana. Bagana. It's a peach. I hear a ga. I hear a ni a. I hear a. Bagana. Jinda Jason. Bagana. Okay. Halbada. Halbada. I hear. Remember that. And halbada. Halbada. That's an alligator. So see how these sounds are going to help you guys. That's why I stress sound. I'm a sound person anyway. I'm a very not, and I've kind of forgot English last night, kind of proved it to me. I had my grandbaby helping him with homework and kind of had to go back and sit and think for a while. E or it. E, oh, this is backwards. E for short. E, how long? It's a, listen now. E and E. Ijo. Ijo. I hear short. I. Ijo is a deer. Figi. Figi is long. Hear it? Figi. But what if you said, see how these sounds, what if you said Ijo? Ijo. It ain't a word, is it? But if you use the long E with that, Ijo, that ain't a word. You would have to say Ijo. Ijo. And Figi is a heart. What if you said Fiki? Fiki. It's not a word. See how that difference is? That's how come this is what sounds. Going back, all the sounds, guys. What is that? His or her?
Here you go.
Right
There
here.
you go. Oh.
E1
You won what?
E1 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 is a sister to his or her sister. E1 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 Abisti. Abisti means fat. Abisti. And what if we said abisti? Abisti. See how these sounds are doing it? What about Igana? That's a long to me. Igana land. And this is long to me too. Abisti. That's long to me too. Igana. What if we just did it with short sound? Ikana. Ikana. Okay, go ahead, Jason.
It's a busy.
Uh-huh.
You think that comes from European talk
Abisti.
or bizat, like someone's obese?
Obese. It could be.
Hmm.
It could be. Well, that's a good question. See, this language, that's how I kind of got into this. Now, see, he just asked a question I'll probably be thinking about all day and all night. Did it come from your abyss, abyssi for obese? That's strange, that's a good question, though. It could, who knows? You can go, these are printable, guys. These are printable. And you can go on a computer and get back on your deal, and then you can print it. And also these are recorded where you can go back and listen to them too. Iga. Iga. That's his or her head. But what if you said Iga? Iga, long E, that wouldn't work. You would have to say Iga. Iga is not a word. Iga is. Okay. It's Muskogee language when you say Iga. But if you say Iga, that's not a Muskogee word. Waga, BC, Waga, BC. I hear long. BC. You hear long? Waga, BC, BC. I hear long. Summer, Miski, Miski, Miski. Okay, so see how these sounds in all kinds of ways. And you know, some people says, well, all she's gonna do is sounds. But when you mispronounce a word, it's gonna go back to sounds. And that's what I stress all the time is sounds. If you can do self-study, and I know it's hard. It's hard to study. I know, you know, gosh, excuse me. When I first, I had to go to school. I knew the language. You know, I didn't know there was sounds. I didn't read or write the language. I just spoke. So when I got there, I was like, oh, you know, but it took me some time. And there were times, you know, I was taking care of a family, raising a family, home. I was taking care of a home, working and going to school at the same time. So it wasn't easy, but you know, the best time that I had was bedtime. And there were times I didn't go to bed till 2 o'clock in the morning because I had homework for my college class. You know, and so I had to break up my time. And for the longest, my husband ate cereal. He had cereal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You know, lunch at work, cereal when he got home. So did my kids. But I had to find out. And as I went into this, it became a mystery. This language is a mystery. And the more I dug into it, the more I dug into it, the more I dug into it until it became like a passion for me. And then when I learned that this language was going away, I thought, you mean the thing that I speak, that I grew up speaking is leaving me? You mean it's going away? So I took this on to teach it. And it's scary to think that what am I after this language is gone? What am I going to be? Nagi wahana edi maya ponaga ayi no what? Nagi duedi. Man, you know, and my grandkids, man imbohagedo nagi do wacha. They say Mvskoke. Prove it. I'll say, prove it. Mvskoke don't chidonga. Prove it to me. And that one little boy will say, oh, Chanwa. He'll say, oh, Chanwa. You know, and see, I want him to prove to me that he's Mvskoke. I said, prove it. He says, oh, Chanwa. He's asking for salt. And he'll say, homoji. Pepper. And he'll say, aha, jithihi, potatoes. Because I teach him a lot. I can't just sit there and teach him a lot. I teach him at the dinner table when we're eating. See, because I have more time with him then. But now last night when we was getting homework, when he had the color red, I say, Jotty. Because he had to pronounce this word, and they say if this was fact or this is fiction, color it red or blue. So I went into that and I said, Chadi, holati. And this is another mispronounced word. They'll say holadi, holadi. It ain't holadi, it's holati. Holati, because you got that double consonant, you got to pronounce both of them, and it may not be audible, but you can feel it. Holati, holati. And I hear a lot of them say holadi. That's English. We don't have no such word as holadi or chido or fujo. You know, just getting these sounds will help you guys. And got Haziskis Koji, little clock. Jakibat, Amahoskiga. Naka Aboka Ojachinoan, Hanyona Ambogibas. It's the minute, it's 5 minutes till my time. If you got questions, go ahead and ask. Okay, you got one right here.
Mabo Hedges, Majanetta, Macombs Chugo, Anibanaga, beat it all. Just me. I think I said that right or wrong.
Okay, what do you want to say in English?
Just me, only one on Combs building.
Okay, he's the only one from the McCombs building that's taking the language, and you said it right, except Haramaka.
Majanetta, Macombs Chugo, Anibanaga, beat it all.
Okay, see, he said I'm the only one from that building that's learning it. He said it, you said it right the second time.
Hey, he came. No, he.
You said it right the second time, you got that. And that's okay to make a mistake. Because I make mistakes. I make mistakes. And I'm not a master at this, guys. I am not a master. I only teach the way I speak and the way I've learned. And you know, I'm not a master, so don't be intimidated. You know, but I had to learn it just like y'all do, especially reading and writing. And then I started practicing like Ido. I started doing E-D-O. D-E-D-D-O. And that was hard to do because, you know, I didn't know how, all I knew was English alphabet. Oh, guys, if you can learn this, it'd be good. Oh, I know. Boxing, jihijahe. Mado, jigezgestia, abogan, amabo. And what I'm saying is I say Mado, it's about 3 minutes till. And Mado, I'm saying Mado to you. I'm saying thank you for sitting there listening to me. But I need y'all to study your sound. How many has got this that sounds are important? Can y'all let me know? Jinna Nitidamga? Nitidamga is not fire. Can you tell me these sounds, are they helping you? Are they gonna help? Jinda Garify?
I can say after 10 classes with you, yeah, they're helping me.
What?
Oh, some sound in the background. I can say after 10 classes with you, it's helping me a lot. Thank you.
Oh, I am sure glad because you know what? If you're not learning, you need to let me know, guys, because I can find other ways. You know, I can find other ways, but this is the beginning. It sounds. This is the beginning. Look here. You can see this in 3-letter and 2-letter sound. Chuk, ha, ya, de, ga, ga. See how that's used? That's in your sound paper, guys. Chuk, ha, ya, de, ga, ga. And right here, is, dun, gun. It's all in that sheet. If you go through your paper, you will see that. And you know, you'll be talking just like me one day and enunciating words just like me. Okay, look here. Juk, ha, ya, de, ga. Juk, ha, ya, de, ga. And that's G-U, G-U-G, that's Juchinen, 3-letter sounds. Ha, la, ya, de, ga. They're in your sound papers. This is all in your sound papers, guys. And this is, you know, this is one way, you know, to learn this language. And And we don't want to change it. We want to save it. My deal is to save this language so much that I work myself sometimes to the bone, and that's okay. Because I'm in it. I'm in it. And I guarantee my classes too. If you walk out of here not learning anything, I shouldn't be a teacher. I guarantee my classes, you will learn something when you leave this class. Uh-oh, Brendan, you look like you got, you got a question?
I'm just repeating and repeating as always.
That's it.
Speaking to myself.
That's it. That's all it takes is repeating. Jinda niti damga. Not flyer. Niti damga. Got any questions? Huh? All right. Since we are done, Foxy, I will see y'all tomorrow.
Bro.
Window for your time.
Oh, no. You know what? My time, it's your time. It's your time, guys. This is, and I appreciate your time that you're giving to this class, because you're not giving it to me, or you're giving it to the Mvskoke people and Mvskoke language. That's what you're giving your time to. So, Mado Jigetsuget, Ayibahanes Boxing Jihitagatis. I'm going to go since it's time, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Mado.